Hey, this is Heidi Dawson. If you love all things health and wellness and style of any kind, hang out here with me each week. I'm obsessed with never ending improvement, and it's all in an effort to help each one of us live a wildly successful lifestyle. Subscribe today so you don't miss a thing. Hi, guys. Welcome to episode 445 of the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. I'm glad you're here. It's a good day whenever we get to be together. So, how many of you guys have something in your life that you once thought was really stable, and now you're worried that it's not as stable as you hoped? You know, when we were kids, or for fortunate kids anyway, our parents were a stabling factor for us. We never even considered that there might be a day where we might not have that stability. Or let's say we buy a new car. When you buy it, they offer a warranty. Why do they do that? It's because they know things can go wrong. If you really think about it, what is there that we can rely on to always be stable or to always be completely reliable? What's left when the car breaks down? The relationship ends, the loved one dies, the house burns down, or your job goes to AI. What's left at that point? Is there anything left for you to rely on? So many of us go through life putting our hope in tomorrow. We put our happiness off until we get the right job or the relationship or the car. We think it's the next thing that's going to make us happy, that accomplishment. If only I won that award or got that promotion. We're constantly on the lookout for stability somewhere in something. But when we get it, and we live with it for a minute or two and we realize, oh, okay, wait, well, that wasn't quite it either. So now I need this next thing, this other future thing, and then I'll feel the way I want to feel. And that cycle just keeps happening over and over. Or maybe we get the thing and it brings us a bit of happiness, but now we're just terrified that if we lose it, we will be nothing or we will be left with nothing. When is it ever going to be enough? When will anything ever be enough? Am I ever going to feel completely at peace? Am I ever going to feel like I'm finally on fully stable ground? Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever felt that way? I've been reading Eckhart Tolle's books and probably for the last month or so, and they're really speaking to me. And one story he told, he was hiking in the mountains and they came across some old dilapidated buildings, and there was a sign that said, "All structures are unstable." And Eckhart said he looked at his friend and chuckled and said whoever wrote that sign probably had no idea how right they were. When we think our peace and our stability is only coming from something outside of us, we're going to constantly be searching. And the more stable you are inside, the more stable your life will be outside. I know this all too well. For so many years, I thought if only my family would act this certain way, I would finally be able to feel like I have something stable to rely on. But instead of getting more reliable, it seemed like it was getting less reliable. How in the world was I ever going to feel stable when I couldn't even rely on my own blood to be there no matter what? Nothing I was willing to do anyway was going to make that happen. So I went on a journey of finding stability somewhere else. Now, I did quite well. I found a spectacular husband. Anybody who knows him will be nodding their head in vicious agreement right now. He treats me like a queen. I was also published for my design on the front page of a design magazine. I have the house of my dreams, friends. I have all the things. But still, at some point, it was just not enough. I kept searching for stability outside of me and not realizing that without an inner knowing of my own stability and peace, there was no structure externally that would ever be stable enough to fill me up. And from there came my work. And all through that work, I found that I thought I wanted to change the world so that I would finally feel stable. If I changed the world, that's what would do it. But what I ultimately needed was to change where I was searching for stability. I wasn't going to find it outside of me. That's why I never could. And you're not going to find it outside of you either, not permanently. When I was talking about this with Eric, he was saying, well, relationships can be a source of stability, just like your family can be a source of stability, or your job can be a source of stability. And so, yes, they can be a source of stability, but they can't be the source of stability. The main source of stability in your life has to be you. Otherwise, you're depending on unstable structures. You're the one that has been consistently there for you your entire life. If you can stop for just 1 minute and think about, you're not your thoughts. You are the one that notices your thoughts. You aren't your behaviors. You're the one that notices your behaviors. There is the you that was born into this body and the you that will be in your body until you die. It's your being, the one that has been with you your whole life. There's a part of you that's always been there looking out for you and is always stable. It's just whether or not you're drowning that part of you out by thinking the thoughts that come so naturally, you don't even notice them anymore. Just being conscious that you're a being separate from your thoughts gives you the freedom to see that you aren't your thoughts. You're not your past mistakes. You're not your past successes. You are a being experiencing the thoughts and the life that you're living. This is so freeing to me because it releases us from the clutches of our mind. And our minds can poison our lives, and it often does. I was driving the other day thinking about a good friend of mine who's going through something really hard right now, and I was torn because I don't really want to be part of the drama, but I also want to be very supportive of my friend. Of course I do. I actually heard myself thinking, I'm so confused about what to do here. I'm so confused about how to think about it. But I noticed that thought and I stopped it midway and I said, hold on, I am not confused. I don't have to understand the situation at all to be supportive. I'm sad about the circumstances, but I'm not confused about my position on where I stand as her friend. You see, my ego, my mind, wanted to create drama. It wanted to make something about me when it has nothing at all to do with me. Our mind, left to its own devices, will create all kinds of drama and misery for us. You know this. I tell you that story because it's very powerful to be able to separate your true self from the mind that creates drama and instability for you. You know how to create stability in your life, but your ego and your thoughts will often want to create drama because that keeps them running the show. The most complete stability you can have in your life is that being that is always with you and has always been with you. That being that wants only what's best for you, the one that's calm, centered, it has a strong inner voice. We all have that. And it tells us to do what's right, not what's easy. We all have that being. You follow that being, that inner guidance, that inner voice, you will create the stability, the peace, the happiness, and abundance that we're all seeking. And those outside things, they'll just be a cherry on the top. At the end of the day, the only stable structure we have is our own inner guidance system, which some will call being and others will call inner spirit. You can call it what you want, but it's that thing, that voice that's been with you since you were born. How are you making space so that inner spirit is more present and awake than not? How do you make sure that the noise that often drowns out that presence has a volume button controlled by you? I can tell you, for me, I do that through meditation, journaling, being in nature, reading, and sometimes just sitting in the complete silence of the morning. How often are you making time to clear your mind of the noise? That is where you'll find your stability, the stability you can totally rely on. Share this with 3 people who are seeking stability. I love you guys. I'll talk to you in a few days. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends because we're just going to keep going bigger and better places together, and I love that about us. Talk to you in a few days.